The film begins with a scene with Nancy, who was living a perfect life with her family in Holland, but until she gets suspicious about her husband that he is hiding something from her. While doing the laundry, she gets a note from her husband's pocket that had the name of the girl written on it. And when she goes to her husband's office for some work, she also sees the model of the city of Holland, on which only a few houses were built, and the streets connected to them were built. Nancy thought, what is the need of this model's last friend? He is a doctor of the eyes. Now she is confirmed that there is something that Fred is hiding from her. Nancy herself was a teacher, and she talks to her colleague Dave about her husband and tells him that I have a doubt on him. I want to know what he is hiding from me. And in all this, I need your help. Dave refuses for now, saying that this is his personal matter and he does not want to get involved in it. Nancy comes home, and even while cooking, she was so angry that all her food got spoiled. And somewhere or the other, Fred also noticed her anger. And at the table he said to her, Nancy, if I have made a mistake, then forgive me. We can start again. Nancy did not even let him doubt that she had a doubt on Fred. So why was Fred talking like this? Her mind went crazy. After everyone went to sleep, she went to the gallery where Fred's stuff was kept. And here she found a camera, which Fred had hidden. She got even more worried that what was the need of a camera for Fred? And even if she had a camera, why did she hide it? While checking all this, she suddenly heard some noises outside her house. She picked up a hammer out of fear, and when she went out to check, she saw that there was a raccoon in her dustbin, which as soon as she saw, ran away from there. Looking back, a light was on in her house, where she sees a shadow of a girl with Fred in a room. In the meantime, she sees that her son had also come out of the house, who wears festival clothes and runs towards the jungle. She follows her son, and while following, she reaches a road where a lot of corpses come under her feet. The next second, all the corpses disappear, and Nancy starts drowning in water, and suddenly, her eyes open. Everything she had just seen, from cooking to drowning, was actually Nancy's dream, and she was getting such dreams because all day she was thinking about Fred. Anyway, the next day it is shown that Nancy meets Dave again in a restaurant and tells him that now my doubt is getting more and more certain, that Fred has an affair with someone else. Please help me. I want to catch him red-handed. Dave still didn't want to fall for it, but as soon as Nancy held his hand, he melted and agreed to listen to her, because he himself liked Nancy inside. He asks Nancy, what should I do? Nancy tells him, it's very simple. You just have to go to him on the pretext of checkup. Then, under the guise of using the bathroom, unlock his window from where we can go inside his clinic at night and investigate. According to Nancy, Dave goes to Fred to get his eyes checked, which was no problem. Here, Fred asks Dave, are you a teacher? And being a teacher in the same school where Nancy also teaches. Hearing Nancy's name, Dave gets scared and tells Fred, I am very introverted. I don't meet any teachers, so I don't know much about anyone. Dave's fear was increasing now. He wanted to go from here, but Fred stopped him and put drops in his eyes. Now he had to wait for a while so that Fred could check him again. But as soon as Fred left, Dave got up and started running from here. But he saw a police officer in front of him. Seeing him, he got scared as if he had murdered someone. He ran and went to the washroom, and then, according to Nancy, he opened the window of the washroom and put a paper there, so that the window is not locked at night. After completing his work, he immediately started running from here, although Fred's assistant told him that his checkup has not been completed yet. There were some drops in his eyes because of which he was not able to see. His accident also happened. But then he reached Nancy's car. Dave was very scared. He also told Nancy that I will not support you anymore. Nancy was still very thankful to him, that she risked her life and helped him so much. Here, overcome with emotion, they moved closer. And here it is revealed that not only Dave, but Nancy also started liking Dave. Now at night, they had to do their mission. That is, Nancy had to check Fred's clinic. But as soon as Nancy held his hand, he melted and agreed to listen to her. Because he himself liked Nancy inside. He asks Nancy, what should I do? Nancy tells him, it's very simple. You just have to go to him on the pretext of checkup. Then, under the guise of using the bathroom, unlock his window from where we can go inside his clinic at night and investigate. According to Nancy, Dave goes to Fred to get his eyes checked, which was no problem. Here, Fred asks Dave, "Are you a teacher?" And being a teacher in the same school where Nancy also teaches. Hearing Nancy's name, Dave gets scared and tells Fred, "I am very introverted. I don't meet any teachers, so I don't know much about anyone." Dave's fear was increasing now. He wanted to go from here, but Fred stopped him and put drops in his eyes. Now he had to wait for a while so that Fred could check him again. But as soon as Fred left, Dave got up and started running from here. But he saw a police officer in front of him. Seeing him, he got scared as if he had murdered someone. He ran and went to the washroom. And then, according to Nancy, he opened the window of the washroom and put a paper there, so that the window is not locked at night. After completing his work, he immediately started running from here. Although Fred's assistant told him that his checkup has not been completed yet, there were some drops in his eyes because of which he was not able to see. His accident also happened, but then he reached Nancy's car. Dave was very scared. He also told Nancy that "I will not support you anymore." Nancy was still very thankful to him, that she risked her life and helped him so much. Here, overcome with emotion, they move closer, and here it is revealed that not only Dave, but Nancy also started liking Dave. Now at night, they had to do their mission. That is, Nancy had to check Fred's clinic. So she made an excuse to Fred that she is going to a night party at her friend's house, although she was going to Fred's clinic with Dave. As soon as they go to the clinic, they enter the clinic through the washroom. Here on the other side, we are shown that Fred gets a call from the same woman. On the pretext of going to her house, Nancy had left the house. And here Nancy's story is about to break. That lady's son had a very severe infection in his eyes. That's why she called Fred to come to the clinic soon. And she is also bringing her son. Fred leaves his son alone at home and goes to his clinic. And here in the clinic, we see Nancy. She sees a lot of debit cards with Fred, out of which she also notes the number 1. In addition, she also gets an album here, which had a lot of pictures of houses. And all these pictures were taken by the same camera that Fred used to hide. And before she did any further investigation, she gets a call from Dave that Fred has come out. Hearing this, she is shocked and tries to get out of there. And because of this, her earrings fall on Fred's model. Here, Fred starts checking up on the boy for whom he had come to the clinic. After that, he asks the lady, "How are you and Nancy enjoying?" On which the lady tells him that Nancy did not come to my house. Fred understood that Nancy was lying to him. When we were seeing Nancy at Dave's house, they had come very close to each other. Here, when Fred goes to the secret room of his clinic, in which the model was kept, he finds Nancy's jewelry on the model, from which he understands that Nancy had come here. Everything was normal. But then someone came out of Dave's house. These were students who had come to threaten Dave, because Dave had punished them. After that, Dave comes to Nancy and tells her that "I cannot live a life of hiding like this. If you want to live with me, then you will have to divorce your husband." Hearing this, Nancy says, "No, I can't do this at all. I love Fred very much. Yes, if something happens, that Fred is cheating on me, then I will divorce him and come to you. But still there is a problem. Fred's financial condition is much better than mine. If we get a divorce, then my son's custody can go to him, and I can't live without my son." Anyway, now Nancy goes to her house and goes to sleep. At night she has a dream again, in which she was watching her son go away from her. When she opened her eyes in fear, she saw that Fred was sitting at her feet. Fred asks her, "How was your night out?" Nancy lied to her, that he was very good, and Fred did not tell her that he has caught his lie. Now Nancy was back on her mission, the debit card number she had brought from Fred's office. She starts getting his information, and finds out that recently, that debit card bought a very expensive gift. When she came to her room, she saw a gift on her bed. Did Fred buy this gift for her? Seeing this, she becomes happy. And here Fred gives her his lost earrings, and tells her, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." Fred's words had relaxed her a lot. Anyway, a few days later, Nancy had a party at her office, in which she and Dave were also there. Here she liked Dave's company very much. Even when she came home, she started thinking about Dave. Now she was feeling more attracted to Dave. She even called Dave and said, Dave will have to do a small task for her. He will have to meet Nancy and collect evidence against Fred, on the basis of which he will divorce Fred, and they will meet again. Hearing all this, Dave also agrees to help her. From the next day, they set out on their mission and start stalking Fred. Here they came to know that Fred had booked a hotel room today. They make a plan that Dave will distract Fred, and Nancy will go upstairs and search his room. When Nancy goes upstairs, she finds strange things, like handcuffs. She starts thinking, what will Fred do with all this? Here Dave was also unable to stop Fred, so he immediately calls Nancy, and Nancy also comes out of the room. According to Dave, all these things were showing Fred's affair. Dave tells her, now we are just one step away. We just have to take a picture of him with his girlfriend. Then you can divorce him, and we will meet again. Nancy also agrees to it, and she comes back to her house. Nancy again sees Fred's model. She finds a file in which there were blueprints of all these houses. She found this very strange. She immediately started searching about those houses, and she came to know, in all these houses, there was a dead body. All these dead bodies were of women who were murdered. No one was able to find it. The game was clear. Fred was a serial killer. When Nancy was busy with her work, Dave was busy with his work, while chasing Fred's car. He reaches a house near the forest, where a girl comes to meet Fred. This was the best time. Dave quickly took out his camera, and when Fred was meeting that girl, he started taking a lot of pictures of her. Now, in order to collect more evidence, Dave reaches inside the house, where he goes inside the room and sees that Fred was not coming near that girl. In fact, Fred had tied that girl, and he had cut her throat with a knife. The girl was bleeding very fast, and she was about to die. That means Dave also understood that Fred is a killer. Dave was shocked to see all this. He could not even move, and in this way, Fred's eyes fell on him. Now Fred would kill him too. Fred wants to kill him with a knife, but in order to save himself, Dave falls out of the window. Fred comes out to kill him, and he says to Dave, I know you know Nancy very well, and you are following me along with Nancy. Hearing this, Dave got even more scared. He knew that Fred would not leave him at all. He ran to the edge of the lake. There was a boat there. He started opening it, so that he can run through it. But Fred caught him again from behind. He was about to kill him by strangling him. He stabbed him in the stomach, because of which Fred fell into the water, and finally Dave survived. Dave thought that he had killed Fred, and the story ended here. But it was not like that. As soon as it was morning, he goes back to the town and burns his clothes, in which he had murdered Fred. He sees that he had received a lot of calls from Nancy at night. She wanted to tell Dave the truth about Fred, but Dave came here and told another story. Dave says that he had caught Fred red-handed. I had taken his pictures, and then I showed him his pictures and said that if you want your well-being, then get out of my way with Nancy. He also loved his honor. He said okay, and now he is gone from our way. Nancy was very surprised. Fred used to make promises of love to her. How did he leave her so easily? Dave said just like that. She had now trusted Dave. She had also started living with Dave. Nancy was afraid that one day Fred will come and kill him, just like those girls. On the other hand, Dave's mental condition was getting worse because he used to dream of that murder, which he had done, Fred's murder. A few days later, we are shown that a festival was being held in Holland, in which Nancy had also brought her son. Her friends ask her about her husband. Nancy says that he is on vacation. Her other friend says that he hasn't come yet, but I saw him in the festival. Hearing this, Nancy got scared. She went mad with fear. When she looks here and there, her eyes are on Fred. Now she was scared. She started looking for her son. When Nancy couldn't see him, she starts looking for her son. Here she meets Dave, who had brought a gun. Nancy understood that Dave had brought a gun to kill her son so that her son dies, and Nancy becomes Dave's. She gets very angry at Dave. She comes to her house with her son. Dave comes here too. Dave decided to tell her the truth. Dave told her, when I went to follow Fred, I saw a scary scene. The girl who Fred was with. He didn't go near that girl. He cut her throat and killed her. I saw all this. When Fred found out, he followed me. We reached the lake. Fred was about to kill me, but I grabbed his knife and stabbed him. He fell into the water. I killed him. Nancy gets shocked. She tells him that he is not dead. He is back. Nancy's son. He is a serial killer. Dave didn't believe that Fred is still alive. He thinks that Nancy is trying to save him. But Dave was tired of all this. He decided that he will surrender to the police. He was about to call the police, but Nancy snatched the phone from him and pushed him, because of which Dave's head was injured. She snatches his gun from Dave and tells him, "Don't be afraid." She went outside. Fred was there. He had his son. Fred told him, "Forget what you know. We will restart. I will leave everything. This time too." Nancy listened to him. She took her son with her. She sat in the car. She put the gun on Fred. She asked her son to run away. As soon as his son came out, she shot Fred. Fred couldn't kill Fred. His ear was torn. Fred got angry. He was about to kill Nancy. But Nancy's son came. He saw his mom in danger. He came to cover his mom. He pushed Fred from behind. Nancy took off her shoes and started hitting his head. He hit his head so many times that Fred died, and he died after killing Fred. Nancy hugged her son and breathed a sigh of relief. In the post-credit scene of the movie, we are told Nancy and Dave got married. After that, they started living like a happy family. The film concludes here. Thank you for liking and sharing.